A North Texas mother is in trouble for hosting a party where police say she gave booze to teenagers. Fox 4's Dionne Anglin talked to the woman, and she says it's all a misunderstanding.
Teresa Kaler was booked and charged with purchasing and supplying minors with alcohol. The party at her Collevyville home inside this gated community was just over a month ago, and someone complained about loud music. The police report details more than a dozen juveniles were cited for underage drinking, and police believed Kaler herself was drunk. The report says the 54-year-old mother of a teen son stood in her front yard and explained to an officer she fixed sandwiches and other food, taking it into the backyard, but denied knowing about any alcohol being consumed at her house. But later changed her story, saying she had not been into the backyard and did not know what the kids were doing back there.
The homeowner in this case was not cooperative, appeared to be somewhat under the influence, changed stories several times.
Police say at one point Kaler stopped answering questions and went back inside her home and ignored their knocking and ringing the bell. Police say Kaler's husband eventually answered the door, and he was cooperative and invited them in. He told officers he'd been sleeping. According to the report, police went through the house and found approximately 50 people hiding throughout the house. All the subjects were escorted outside and sat on the curb. It goes on to say Mr. Kaler kept apologizing for Mrs. Kaler and also kept telling Mrs. Kaler to just be honest and tell the truth.
I believe at the end of the day there were 19 citations issued to minors who were under the influence or in possession of alcohol.
When we visited the home today, no one answered, but I did speak to Mrs. Kaler by phone. She denies purchasing or giving alcohol to any of the teenagers that night and told me anything they consumed while at her home, they must have brought along with them.
Now, Mrs. Kaler tells me she disagrees with police saying there were about 50 kids at her home. She says tops there were maybe 35 kids. She says she does have an attorney, but would not put me in touch with that person at this time. Steve?
Dionne, I don't want to put you on the spot, but maybe you do know this, maybe you don't. I don't. Does it absolve her story saying, I didn't know they were at my house boozing it up, but I wasn't keeping track of them? Does that absolve her?
According to police, absolutely not.
Okay.
She was supervising that gathering, and she is responsible, according to police, for what was going on with those minors. Now,
okay. What's the status of her case?
Well, it's been a few weeks, and of course it is moving through the system, but it's not progressing, so to speak. Collevyville police have filed a case with the Tarrant County DA's office, but the DA's office at this time tells me it has requested and is waiting for further information from police about the case.
Okay,
Steve?
Dionne Anglin, thank you in our Dallas newsroom.